Hey there, so we are going to paint these two shelf sitters today. So this is part, they're kind of similar to what I had made last year, or it was a couple years ago for, they were like Easter tags. So now, and I don't think I ever did where I showed you guys how to paint them. So now we're gonna do that, okay. So, I'm just using a little sticky board here. And I just kind of wanted to keep track of what I was doing where. And then these are going to be all this purple color, so it won't matter. And this is going to be that purple color too. All these little bits here. Let's scoot this over and see if we can get this last one on there. Okay, and then, so we'll set these aside. Let's do the egg parts. I gave you score marks for the other one just so that everything's kind of centered a little bit. I kind of sometimes have a hard time eyeballing it, and then this is just, because the other one you can just set on. So these are lilacs and then pansies. So my mother-in-law's favorite. So that's kind of where I got the inspiration to begin with. But I had made, it was like you could do a bunting with them, I think I included in the file, or it was just, you could do them as ornaments, tags. I think I even included like a little banner piece at the bottom. So then you could make, excuse me, name tags and first Easter and everything to go with it. So I'm using white flour. I'm going to use a non-scented baby wipe, just getting a part of it. I'm just going to tap it on. I don't want it too terribly thick on my, this isn't really going to matter because I don't really have any score lines. These are all cut marks in the stitches because these are bigger, so I made them all cut. The paint is, I'm grabbing some more because I need some. It's Sherwin-Williams, or Home Depot paint samples, and then it's Sherwin-Williams. A lot of it is the Sherwin-Williams colors, but Home Depot, they'll match and they're really good about, at least my store is really good about finding the color that I need. So I'm just applying, sorry my camera's going all over the place. I'm trying to not get it over the side there. You know what, let me turn I bet this is super loud for you guys. One of my heaters here. There we go, sorry about that, I didn't realize that was on still. And then you're going to see a red tinge because I have a little chicken heater set up so I can try to dry my pieces. Yeah, so we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to do the same thing with this one. This should be fairly quick paint, I'm hoping. So, again, wherever I can get away with doing like full sheet paints, this would be another one that would be good. You could do the eggs in white, and then, or the white flour, and then I would do the backs, just so that it's all finished. I would do the backs, the Turkish coffee color, or just a dark brown. So that would look really nice. Took a lot of effort to get, I don't know, I think because my baby wipes were kind of frozen. So there we go. We're going to set that aside. I'm just kind of putting them up in my little chicken heat lamp thing there. So this does come with the little stands that I've been showing you for all the other ones for some reason I don't have one handy. But I have a bigger laser besides my Glowforge, so I went ahead and cut out 1/2 inch because I'm going to make them chunky. Okay, so now to remember, I think I was going to do, since I still have white out, I'm going to do I'm just going back to I'm going to do one of these, the white flower. So we'll do that. And then we're going to come back and give it its color with some shading. So that's the idea here. I don't need to do the whole thing on this one because this piece is actually going to sit in the front of it. And then this piece, again, just stay out of the score lines, but these pieces, they're actually cut all the way through, so you should be okay. Just try to stay out of the little guidelines for when we go in and do some shading. Okay, let me just see if I can get this a little bit more. Okay, and then I think I want to do, let's do, because I'm going to have a lot of purple with the other one. Let's do this color. I haven't introduced this color before. It's Fine Wine. I had it from a different project that I was doing, but I don't think I've ever painted with it on camera. But that's Fine Wine. So we're going to come in and we're going to do the back of this one. I'm just trying to avoid the little leaves, and then this part. Okay, then find another little clean space. I might need more paint on my board, but we're going to use Magical for this lighter purple color. And again, still got my baby wipe, just tapping it on. And we're going to do this part here because this flower is going to be, hopefully I'm still on the screen. It's a fine line between like having it down far enough so then you can actually see what I'm doing and then being able to actually see what I'm doing for myself. So you're hearing chickens beating against my shed. I'm up in the loft of my shed and they're outside. The sun is finally poking out, so they're running around trying to sunbathe a little bit. It's been so cold. So I'm gonna get another part just because that one was starting to pop through. So again, all I'm doing is tap, tap, tapping here and applying some paint. Okay, so I still need to do this one because that's going to go on top of that one. And I know you can't really see the color here because I'm having a hard time because of that heat lamp, but I'll bring it up so you can see. So there you can go. It's just a light purple, but we're going to come back with some darker purple and hopefully that'll be, oh, here we gotta do the rest of the lilac plant. Let me set this up here so it'll dry. Let me grab a little more paint. Again, still with the Magical. I think I use this quite a bit for some of the Halloween stuff, so I was trying to keep it, again, so you don't have to get a bunch of paint. This is the leaf that's going to go over that, so I don't have to really worry about that so much. This one we have to kind of be careful. But again, we can fix whatever with shading. Okay, now that I've painted myself, I'm trying to save on my baby wipes because they are frozen. So I can only get 1 or 2 out. Okay, I think I still have a clean spot here. I'm gonna go in with some overt green and we'll do the leaves quick. And we gotta do the stem. Okay, still with some overt green. Let's see, I have a couple leaves on here that need to be done. Let's put this up here so it dries. That's not going to really matter because it's going to be covered, so don't worry about that little. I did, however, get it on the little edge of my piece, so I want to get that. Try to find a clean spot and clean that up. I don't know. I'd rather clean it up while it's wet if I can. I won't be able to get in there with my fat marker, so. Okay, we're getting there, guys. See how quick this is? And I tried to tuck these so then it was easy, quick. Not a lot of intricate painting. Okay, so we'll let that dry. Let me see how my eggs are doing and if we're ready for, or if they need another coat. I am going to put another coat, and to do that, I'm going to have to grab another baby wipe. Yeah, that was the last of the ones, so hopefully I don't need any more. The other ones are frozen. Okay, let me grab a little more white. So this is, again, the white flower. And if you guys have any questions, by all means, reach out. You could even post it in when I post the video, because I'm sure there will be others that have questions. So don't be shy with, I would rather help you because your success is my success. So for sure. I'm just going to give this another coat. And so there we go. Okay, so let me stick that up there and get it dry. Going through the paint, it's not going on very good. Hopefully we'll be okay here. I'm gonna have to change up my shop a little bit, or my little craft space. It is like bare walls and everything. Someday it's gonna be amazing. I mean, it's already amazing that I have this huge space. It's actually bigger than my house. But it just would be nice to get it finished and heated, but because this isn't the only thing I do a ton of other crafty stuff too. So I need to narrow it down. I've got a lot of stuff I try to get done. But it's all fun, right? It's all fun. Okay, these are dry, so I'm going to do these while this other stuff is drying. Let me put these back up here to try. Okay, so yeah, these are already good. Let me pull these off so I do them all at the same time. Okay, so let's do, I'm gonna just pull a paintbrush. All it is a angle brush. I guess I don't need to be in that much. I must have the camera up higher. Maybe I'll just, then you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, first, 220 sandpaper, 220 grit sandpaper. I'm gonna go over the whole, all of them. And I know I'm on repeat, but there tends to be some newbies sometimes, so I just wanna make sure everybody gets all the same information. But I use birch ply, so that's why I'm sanding. If you use an MDF, you don't really have to sand. But since I get the wood wet, the fibers stand up. So I want a nice, if I'm gonna try to shade and float my paint across, I want a nice smooth surface. So, and I'm trying to go with the grain. I did that one already. Okay. So I'm gonna do the green is kind of where I was going with all this. Okay, I have, the color is Garden Grove. Any little bit darker green kind of in the same tone would work just fine. I have it here, so I'm gonna wake up my brush for my water. So I just redid my water because it was frozen, but I just put one little teeny drop of dish soap in here just to clean my brushes in between. So then that's done there. So all I'm doing is wetting my brush, kind of waking it up, and I tap it off. This is actually a paper towel because I didn't have enough baby wipes. It's a damp, wet paper towel, water damp. And I'm just going to take the corner of my brush, and I'm just like that. And what I'm going to do is kind of find a clean spot on my plate, and I can already tell I need a little more water. And I'm going to just ombre it out. So if you can see, it just, as I go down, it gets lighter. And so we're just going to touch the edges with these and just give them a little bit of color. And I'm just going right back to this same plate there, same spot, and I'm gonna grab some more, and I'm just going along the edge there. Kind of spinning around too much. I'm gonna grab some more. It's always a little bit more effort when I haven't been using my brush all day. And I'll hold it up here in just a second. It's just giving it a little bit more dimension. So you can kind of see a little bit different dimension in there. Okay. Grab some more. We're going to go and do the other side. Oh, that was a hen. And I'm just kind of getting the tips. So there it is. Okay, and we'll come back and do the flower here in just a minute. Let's get all the green done. Dipping into the water, kind of taking the paint off, or the water off, dapping it off, and then going into my paint. And now I must have a plane going over. And you don't have to do any of this. If you wanted to just keep the sanded look, you don't have to come back and do all of this stuff. It would be pretty either way. Let's do that little single. Same thing. I'm just gonna go on that outer edge. If you get too much, just go back and forth until you smooth it out. Okay, and I think this is the last little leaf. Cousin's birthday party for my daughter. Her birthday was a couple days ago, but we're going to continue to celebrate. I left the stem because I think I want to go back with some Turkish coffee, and just to give it kind of, because it is a stem, so I'm going to just see if I can give it a little. There, kind of gave it a little bit of a stem look. Okay. Let's see here. I've got, so all of these are gonna get, I'm just thinking to myself, let's do this, so I have to sand these ones, and I might just leave these on my board and sand them if I can. Okay, put that on this side now. So I sanded those, these need to be sanded. And use whatever colors. Like if you have pansies that look way different than this, by all means. I just have this kind of color growing in my yard, so that's why I went with these. Okay, so now I'm going to take Purple Sky, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to give some highlights to all of, or shading to all of these. So even the white one, and because it's going to all kind of tie it in and I think look pretty. So, okay, again, same brush. gonna go in with this purple. And can you see that? It's like I just keep bringing it down until it's like a lighter ombre, so it's not like solid. And what I want to do is go around like the tips, and it's going to give it just a little bit, again, more dimension. And I'm not going to do the whole flower or anything. I just want to just touch just a little bit here and there. And I'm trying not to, whatever I've already painted, I have to be careful not to go back over because it'll take it off. So some places I might have to go back, but can you, here, let me scoot you down while I'm doing this so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So same spot, I'm gonna go right back into it, and then you can see, I'm just touching the tips, and it's just giving it a little bit more color. Get some more water on my brush. Some more paint. See, it's like a fine line. You gotta, and we'll come in and get these middle areas, but I just, like I said, if you go over it too many times, it'll just wipe it off. Just grabbing some more paint. And we've got these other pieces too that will help blend this all in, that will lay over top of it. This would be fun too if you have watercolor paints. You could do watercolor with this. I'm trying to think of, I think it was the hair clips I did watercolor. If you want to go back and watch those ones, I think those ones actually might be on YouTube. I tried to do YouTube, but for some reason I could only do 15-minute videos, and it's really hard to get all of like a full painting tutorial in a video and have it make sense of like what I'm doing. So then, and I'm not really brave enough to do like full-on lives. So then it was like, what do I do so I can help you? Because I always have questions on how did you paint them? And then too, I try to always give a shout out to I call them my mentors, because honestly, I hated painting until I found Casey and Rhonda at Peach and Valley. And then I found Chris at Sawdust Makery, and you guys, the skills that they have, and they do like, I think they call it like tool painting, and but they are definitely, what would my daughter say? The OGs. They're the originals. There's lots of people out there that are super talented, don't get me wrong, but those, I just love their style and just so pretty. So as you can see, I'm just kind of going around and just trying to do the tips, because I still want that light purple in there. I think it'll give it lots of dimension, but there it is, so you can kind of see. And then let me just finish this flower then. I must have had a hen that just laid an egg. She is really talking about it. I don't know if you can hear her out there, but she is telling us all that she just laid an egg. Okay, so here, let me put this one up there to dry, sorry. And then we'll kind of go around these. But again, just doing the tips. Grabbing more paint. hope you can see this. I'm a visual learner, so I like to, but this set, oh my goodness. Okay, so for the other flowers then, you'll be able to see and kind of get like how I made them, and maybe I'll make that set over again when I, or do a tutorial on it when I start making them for the stand again, which should be soon. I'm just trying to get this other stuff out first, but, and then so then you can see how I did them, but it's same thing. And then I did in the listing, I went back to look to make sure that I had it in there. I did include the colors in the listing, so you will know what colors I used. And if you wanted to just paint them this darker color and sand it off, that would be super cute too if you didn't want to do the shading. Okay, so I still have to do, well, I'm going to do all of them, I guess. So we'll, yeah, okay. So we'll keep going with that same purple. It's a darker purple. And I'm just going to come into this part here. And I might come up just a little bit just to, gosh, she's really talking about her egg. Just to give it a little oomph. There's that. I'm gonna come along this seam here, I think, and do that. Because I kind of want it to look like it's kind of exploding from this, you know, the color's coming from the center there, so I don't want to get too crazy with it. Just kind of softening up the line. So this one's going to go on there, so that's going to be how it will look. I'm going to come in here too. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so let's keep going. We're going to do the same thing. But yeah, I'm a crafter of too many things. At one point when we lived in Minnesota, I literally had more yarn than our local Ben Franklin. I used to do a lot of, we used to do farmers markets a lot more, and so then I would create and sell at the farmers markets. I used to do hats, all kinds of stuff. So there's that one. soften this line up a little bit. Sorry if I got off camera there. It's so pretty. Okay, then we're going to do this one. But I think in that set it had crocuses, daffodils, so all the little spring flowers. I think I even had snow on the mountain. I don't know, I just loved it. It turned out so pretty. Just trying to get a little more color in there. Okay, and then this one. We're almost done. I just have to do the shading on the egg, and then we will put it together and we'll be done. And now just remember, this was two things, so I don't think this took that long. I got a crow out there adding to the, goodness. My husband was talking about getting miniature Highland cows. I'm like, what in the world? We used to have all that stuff when we lived in Minnesota. We had pigs. My brother had the beef, and then and at one point we had 300 chickens that we butchered. And then I had a acre garden that I used to can all my stuff. Now I just have raised beds, just enough for us to eat during the, so you can see how that was wet, and then I kind of pulled it away. So I'm gonna quit messing with this one and come back to it because I kind of made a mess with it. And we're gonna hopefully try to fix it. Let me see if I can fix it right now, because I've got talking and it just made a mess of it. And it did, look at that, it just came right off. So I'm gonna try to apply a little more of that pink color back to it. But that's what I mean by, you get, I went back over the same spot too many times. I'm looking for my little thing so I can clean out oh, it's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna let that one dry and then we'll come back to it because I foobarred that one. But you saw how I fixed it. It's not over with. Okay, so that was it for those. So now let me just clean out my brush quick, and we are going to sand our eggs. And let me get that on. So then I can assemble and put together, and you can see. Okay, so these, I'm going to use that Turkish coffee again, and hopefully my paint hasn't dried up. And again, I'm just in my little spot here, and I'm going to come around, and like everything else that I've done in the last couple days, just going to give it a shade. little dot of Turkish coffee is losing its and you could just, yeah, paint these a nice solid white in sand, and that would look really pretty too. You could even splatter these or speckle these or whatever when you're all done. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm gonna just keep them the way they are. Okay, so that one is done. Try to find my spot. Okay, so there we go. Let me try to fix that one. Let's see. Yep, it's dry. So let me try to redeem myself. So I'm going back to that dark purple again. And I'm just gonna try to come in here and not make a huge mess of this. I'm trying really hard to stay away from that line because that's where I got into trouble. And I'm coming around on the other side of it just to kind of soften it up. I would love to see what you guys come up with on how to paint these. I think there's lots of different ways you could do it. So we're gonna leave that one, let it dry. So let's assemble. So get everything off to the side. So this one, this is here, this is here. And then the tops. So this is, I know you guys, I say it every time, Art Glitter Glue. I do have an affiliates link thing at the top of my Facebook. I think I have that in there with the bottles, but it is just an Amazon find. Hopefully I don't, I'm gonna just tap that off to the side because I kind of had a lot there in the beginning. And there's score lines, so just try to find your score lines there. And they are smaller than the flower, so just make sure you move it around enough to get rid of the lines. Raise this just a little bit so you can see. Okay. And let's do this one. They're pecking at the, they're not pecking at the wall, but they're like pecking right there where the wall is. They're always digging and trying to find stuff. Yeah, pansies come in all different colors. So for sure, I was just thinking it would be cute to do a red, white, and blue. Like a little shelf sitter. Not an egg, obviously, but maybe I'll have to think about that for 4th of July. I'm always trying to think of something different than just everybody's standard of everything. That'd be kind of pretty. So there it is. I think it's super pretty. I don't know what you guys think. I would love to hear what you think. So there's that one. Okay, then this one's a little bit different. Let me find my pieces. So this one, we're gonna try to center it in and then just kind of lay it down. And then we have some other pieces. And if you don't use all the other little flower pieces, that's fine too. I like to include them just in case. They're so busy. Well, and we have 2 little house chickens. I've got some that are peeping. They're supposed to hatch today. Yeah, well, and then my husband, he wants to get, he said before he dies, he will be getting some emus. Oh my goodness. That will be an adventure. So I was using up like scrap wood. I try to always, when I'm cutting stuff, if I can, I don't know, I have a game with myself. Like, you can cut this, but you have to use some scrap, or, you know, I've got to use up some scrap, because I'm actually doing really good. Usually I have sheets and sheets and sheets and sheets of scrap, but as I go, I've been really trying hard to use up everything. So this little piece here was a little bit bowed, so that's why I'm just kind of holding it and talking with you. But I try really hard to use up my scrap, because it's all money. So that's what I was making the keychains and everything out of. Because on my big laser, I can get a 4x4 sheet on there. So, I mean, I can go to town, but I want to use up some of my stuff. I'm just trying to line up that leaf. Still looks good. I think that looks good. Okay, now this part, this is going to be entirely up to you. So how many you add, how many you don't add. I know that like lilacs, they have like big bunches, but I don't want it to be too crazy gaudy. So I'll probably do like maybe there. Like that, and then you can use it, don't use it, whatever. So I just kind of try to piece it. I'm gonna tap that off a little bit. that one to go up a little bit. Do what you think looks good, seriously. Kind of slip down. Let's see. And then we can maybe get that one in there. Is that too much? Let's see if I can do that. Then I've used all my pieces. There, I think that looks pretty. There we go. So they're both done. And like I said, they do come with the little slide-in thing, the little kickstand thing that I've done for all of them so far. And there's multiple different sizes. So if you have different size wood that you're cutting with, this is 1/8 inch. And then I also included just a blank. So then you'll just put that on, and then it does a thick, chunky. And I'm gonna stain the backs of these with the Turkish coffee, and then those will be little shelf sitters. So I'd love to hear what you think of those. I think they turned out super cute. But if you like this style, go check out the ornament ones that I did, the tags. You could do, I think there was a bunting that I included. So anyways, I thought they were super cute. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I don't even know how long this one took, but thank you again. I appreciate all of you. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love to help. All right. Thank you.